Every morning, before the coffee is brewed and the day truly begins, millions of Americans 60 and over perform a ritual. They reach for their medication organizer. They take their pills for the heart, for cholesterol, or for blood pressure. But what if this simple, necessary ritual is hiding a deadly risk? Today, doctors and pharmacists are issuing urgent alerts about common foods and drinks that turn life-saving heart medications into something toxic. This is not about ignoring your medication. This is about knowing the crucial difference between healing and harm when you mix your routine with what is sitting in your refrigerator. The FDA confirms that when certain drugs interact with certain foods, the results are immediate, unpredictable, and often serious enough to send you straight to the emergency room. This is especially true for the cardiovascular system, which is highly sensitive to sudden changes in drug concentration. If you are 60 or older and you take a daily pill for your heart, you must watch this entire warning. We are going to reveal the 4 most common kitchen dangers that dramatically increase your risk of bleeding, dangerous drops in blood pressure, or even acute liver failure. Let's start with the most famous, yet still most frequently ignored culprit lurking in healthy breakfast routines across America. It is citrus, specifically one innocent-looking glass of juice. If you take a statin, a drug like atorvastatin or simvastatin, or if you take calcium channel blockers for high blood pressure, what we are about to reveal is critical. The danger is grapefruit. It sounds harmless, doesn't it? A quick shot of vitamin C to start the day. But grapefruit juice, even just half a glass, contains powerful compounds called furanocoumarins. And when these compounds enter your body, they seek out and completely disable a crucial enzyme in your small intestine. This enzyme, known as CYP3A4, is the mechanism your body uses to process, filter, and eliminate up to 80% of your heart medications. Think of it this way. Your pill is designed to work for 24 hours and then be naturally cleared out. But if grapefruit juice shuts down the cleanup crew, the drug doesn't get processed. The medication stays in your bloodstream. It keeps building up. That one dose of a statin, intended to lower your cholesterol safely, is suddenly amplified. It can become the equivalent of 3 or 4 doses taken at once. The result is an immediate catastrophic drug overdose, even though you only took the prescribed amount. For those on statins, this massive spike leads to a serious condition called rhabdomyolysis, rapid muscle breakdown that floods the kidneys and often causes acute kidney failure. For those on blood pressure medication like nifedipine or phalidipine, this interaction can cause a sudden, dangerous drop in blood pressure. You might feel dizzy, faint, and collapse, a fall risk compounded by a heart crisis. And this isn't an interaction that requires the juice and the pill to be taken at the exact same moment. The enzyme blocking effect of grapefruit juice can last up to 72 hours. That means if you had grapefruit juice for breakfast on Monday and took your blood pressure pill on Wednesday morning, you are still at high risk. You have not cleared the danger zone. The FDA estimates that over 85 different medications are impacted by grapefruit, and heart and cholesterol drugs are at the very top of that list. Stop right now and check your pill bottles. If you see the generic names ending in statin, or if you take a common calcium channel blocker, eliminate all forms of grapefruit from your diet entirely. This includes fresh fruit, canned sections, and especially the juice. If you suspect you have mixed these, if you feel unusual muscle pain or a sudden severe drop in blood pressure accompanied by dizziness, seek medical help immediately. But citrus is just one side of the coin. Many people dutifully avoid grapefruit, believing they have solved the interaction problem entirely. They then turn to what they think is the safest, healthiest option on their plate. They increase their intake of dark green leafy vegetables. They start eating more salads, more spinach, and more kale. This choice, while fantastic for general health, can be deadly if you are on a very specific, common class of heart medication designed to prevent strokes. In our next segment, we pull back the curtain on the quiet, constant battle between your medication and vitamin K. We will detail exactly which blood thinner turns toxic when paired with too much green food and the life-threatening internal bleeding risk it creates. Stay with us. When we discuss heart medication safety, most people correctly think of grapefruit. But doctors warn there are silent daily interactions that send just as many seniors to the emergency room, often without them ever realizing the cause was their breakfast or their late-night snack. We need to talk about greens. If you are taking blood thinners, drugs like Warfarin, often known by the brand name Coumadin, or even newer drugs like licorice or Xarelto, you must listen closely to this interaction. Blood thinners work by making it harder for your blood to clot. For years, you and your doctor have worked to find the perfect steady dose, but that dose is stable only if your intake of vitamin K is stable. Vitamin K is the nutrient that helps blood clot. It is found in extremely high concentrations in your healthy leafy greens. We are talking about spinach, kale, collard greens, mustard greens, and even Brussels sprouts. Here is the deadly trap. If you decide to suddenly start eating healthier, adding a large, vibrant salad every day, or drinking a kale smoothie every morning, you are flooding your body with vitamin K. This increase essentially cancels out your medication. Your carefully balanced blood thinner dosage is suddenly too weak. This dramatically raises your risk of a sudden dangerous clot, potentially leading to a stroke or heart attack. This is a 5-alarm emergency situation. The key is consistency. You do not need to avoid these vegetables entirely. You must simply consume the same amount, day in and day out. Do not suddenly double your spinach intake without calling your cardiologist first. A change in diet is a change in medication for blood thinner users. Now, let's move to another common group of life-saving drugs, those prescribed for high blood pressure. If you take an ACE inhibitor, perhaps lisinopril, or an ARB like losartan, you are at risk for an entirely different kind of electrolyte disaster. This danger is centered around potassium. Your blood pressure medication helps your body regulate fluid and sodium, but many of these specific heart drugs have a side effect. They cause your body to retain potassium. Potassium is critical for heart muscle function. Too little causes issues, but too much, a condition called hyperkalemia, can slow down your heart to a dangerously low rate, triggering palpitations, severe weakness, and often an unavoidable trip to the ER. The primary culprit doctors are now seeing in the senior community is the salt substitute. For decades, we've been rightly told to cut back on sodium. You may have switched from standard table salt to a no-salt product, sometimes labeled as potassium chloride. These substitutes are often 100% potassium. They are potent. If you are sprinkling liberal amounts of this substitute onto your food while taking a potassium-retaining blood pressure pill, you are putting your heart under massive strain. This interaction is not gradual. It can happen quickly, especially if you also eat a lot of high-potassium fruits like bananas, oranges, or avocados that same day. The warning here is immediate. Check the label on your salt shaker. If it says potassium chloride or salt alternative, call your doctor immediately if you are on blood pressure medication. That single substitution could be what sends you to the hospital with a frightening heart arrhythmia. Next, we must address the most common heart drug in America, the statins. These drugs, like atorvastatin or simvastatin, save lives by controlling cholesterol. But they put a stress load on your liver. When we combine them with certain common foods or drinks, we overload the liver's processing capacity. We covered grapefruit earlier, but there are two other critical interactions with statins that demand your attention. First, alcohol. For statin users, there is no such thing as a heart-healthy glass of red wine. Combining statins with even moderate alcohol consumption drastically increases the risk of severe muscle damage, a horrifying condition called rhabdomyolysis. In rhabdomyolysis, muscle fibers break down rapidly. They flood the kidneys with toxins, leading to acute kidney failure. The pain is crippling. This is almost always an ER scenario requiring hospitalization. If you are on a statin, talk to your doctor about your complete alcohol consumption profile, even if it's just 1 drink per week. The liver cannot handle both. Second, beware of pomegranates. Pomegranate juice is often marketed as a high antioxidant, heart-healthy superfood. But like grapefruit, pomegranate contains compounds that interfere with the specific enzymes your liver uses to break down statin drugs. Drinking pomegranate juice while taking your statin causes the medication level in your bloodstream to soar dangerously high. Your side effects multiply instantly. The muscle pain gets worse, and the strain on your liver intensifies. This interaction is strong enough that if you enjoy pomegranate, you should treat it as seriously as you treat grapefruit. If you are taking a statin, avoid the juice entirely. These daily interactions, your healthy green smoothie, your no-salt sprinkle, your glass of juice, are silent betrayals in your medication routine. They introduce chaos into a system built for balance, often leading to rapid emergency symptoms. But the dangers do not stop with food. In our final segment, we will delve into the hidden interactions between your heart pills and common over-the-counter drugs and supplements, including the one supplement millions of seniors take daily that doctors now realize is dramatically spiking their blood pressure. Stay with us. We have established that citrus and common heart medications are a dangerous mix, but the risks do not stop there. Doctors are increasingly worried about foods that appear completely harmless, yet they destroy the careful balance your heart medication creates. This next warning applies directly if you take blood thinners, like Warfarin or Coumadin. You are aiming for a precise target. Too thin, and you face internal bleeding. Too thick, and you face stroke or clot risk. The silent enemy here is vitamin K. Vitamin K is essential for blood clotting. While you need it, large inconsistent swings in vitamin K intake can send your blood thickness spiraling out of control. Think about your daily salad. If you eat a small side salad Monday, but a huge kale smoothie on Tuesday, and a massive plate of collard greens on Wednesday, you are fighting your Warfarin dose. You are essentially running a daily experiment with your own life. The danger isn't just eating vitamin K. The danger is eating radically different amounts of it from one day to the next. This is why regular check-ins are crucial. But the ER visits spike when people forget about seasonal changes. Consider cranberries. If you are taking Warfarin, cranberry juice or cranberry sauce, especially around the holidays, can radically boost the effect of your medication. They inhibit the breakdown of the drug. The result, uncontrolled bleeding. You may notice excessive bruising, nosebleeds that won't stop, or blood in your urine. These are not minor issues. These are flashing red lights demanding an ER trip immediately. You must view your blood thinner medication and your diet as a single unified system. Consistency is your best defense against a sudden hemorrhagic crisis. Now, let's turn to calcium channel blockers. These are workhorse medications like amlodipine or verapamil, often used to manage high blood pressure or angina. The interaction we are about to discuss is often overlooked because it seems like such a small indulgence. We are talking about black licorice. For most people, black licorice is just a strong-tasting candy. But if you take a diuretic, a water pill, often prescribed alongside your heart medication, black licorice becomes poison. Black licorice contains a compound called glycyrrhizine. When you ingest this, it rapidly causes your body to shed potassium. If you are already on a diuretic like hydrochlorothiazide, which also lowers potassium, you are doubling the rate of depletion. Potassium is the fuel that keeps your heart muscle firing smoothly. When it drops too low, your heart becomes unstable. The symptoms start subtly: extreme fatigue, muscle weakness, and leg cramps. If ignored, the next step is severe arrhythmia. Your heart begins to flutter, unable to beat efficiently. This sudden electrolyte crash is a direct path to the hospital, requiring immediate IV potassium and cardiac monitoring. Doctors are urging seniors to completely eliminate real black licorice from their diet if they are on any blood pressure or water-regulating medications. We see a similar, though less severe, spike in dangerous blood pressure fluctuations stemming from excessive consumption of high-sodium vegetable juice, especially canned or prepared tomato and V8 juices. These juices are marketed as healthy, but their high sodium content directly contradicts the goal of your blood pressure medication. You take the pill to lower pressure, then drink a liquid that forces it back up. The stress this places on your arteries and kidneys is immense. Your body is constantly fighting itself, which destabilizes your drug levels and increases your risk of a hypertensive crisis. The challenge is magnified when we look at common over-the-counter supplements. Many seniors assume that because a product is available on a pharmacy shelf, it must be safe to combine with prescription drugs. This assumption is medically false and life-threatening. If you are taking digoxin for heart failure or rhythm control, you must be extremely cautious about fiber supplements. Metamucil, psyllium husks, and high-fiber cereal taken simultaneously with your digoxin can act like a sponge. The fiber absorbs the medication in your stomach before your body has a chance to utilize it. Digoxin has a very narrow therapeutic window. Even a slight drop in absorption means your heart doesn't get the dose required to function correctly. Your rhythm could become erratic, leading to palpitations or signs of worsening heart failure. Similarly, common herbal supplements meant to ease anxiety or improve sleep can sabotage your blood pressure pills. St. John's wort, for example, is notorious for lowering the effectiveness of many cardiac medications, potentially resulting in uncontrolled hypertension. This highlights the final crucial step: open communication. Many seniors are embarrassed to tell their doctor about every supplement, every herbal tea, or every vitamin gummy they take. They fear judgment. But hiding this information is what leads to catastrophic interactions. Your doctor or pharmacist cannot protect you if they do not know what ammunition you are using against your own medication. In Part 4, we will detail the specific life-saving questions you must ask your pharmacist today. We will provide a simple 3-step method to organize your medications and diet to eliminate these high-stakes risks, ensuring you avoid the emergency room and keep your heart safe. The dangers we've covered so far are significant, but many life-threatening interactions hide in your kitchen cabinet or your medicine cabinet labeled as natural. We must talk about the silent collaboration between your medications and herbal supplements. If you are taking blood thinners like Warfarin or any anticoagulant, please listen carefully. These supplements are designed to thin the blood naturally, and when combined with prescription thinners, the risk of internal bleeding skyrockets. This is an ER scenario waiting to happen. The most common culprits are garlic, ginger, and ginkgo biloba. Many seniors take high doses of garlic capsules for heart health. This is often done without telling their doctor. If you are on Coumadin, even a small dose of supplemental garlic can cause a catastrophic bleeding event. It interferes with your medication's ability to clot your blood correctly. Ginseng is another major danger zone. It can increase the concentration of certain calcium channel blockers in your bloodstream. This sudden overdose effect can dramatically drop your blood pressure, causing fainting or shock. You feel weak, dizzy, and you hit the floor. This trip to the ER is entirely preventable. Never assume a supplement is safe just because it is labeled natural. Your prescription medication doesn't care about the label. It only reacts to the chemical compound. Now, let's look at a common snack item that doctors warn about constantly, especially for those managing blood pressure: black licorice. Not the red kind, which is mostly just sugar. We mean genuine black licorice. This snack contains a compound called glycyrrhizin. This compound has a terrible interaction with several heart medications, especially diuretics and ACE inhibitors. Glycyrrhizin causes your body to lose potassium rapidly. Low potassium levels, combined with your blood pressure medication, can lead to serious heart rhythm problems. This is called arrhythmia. It destabilizes your carefully balanced system. If you love black licorice, you must stop eating it immediately if you are on any cardiac medication. The stakes are too high. Another hidden hazard is highly salted foods, even seemingly healthy ones like canned soups or frozen meals. If you are taking a diuretic to control fluid retention, excess sodium makes the medication useless. The diuretic tries to flush the salt, but you keep consuming more. This leads to fluid overload, shortness of breath, and a rapid spike in blood pressure. That means a trip straight back to the hospital for congestive heart failure symptoms. The key to avoiding the ER is establishing a strict medication reconciliation routine. This is your immediate action plan. First, dedicate one morning this week to this task. Gather every single thing you take. This includes vitamins, herbal teas, supplements, pain relievers, and prescription bottles. Second, schedule an appointment with your pharmacist or your doctor. A pharmacist is often the expert in interactions. Do not just hand them the list, physically show them the bottles. Ask this direct question: can you review every item here to ensure there are zero dangerous interactions with my heart medication? This step saves lives. Pharmacists catch these supplement and food interactions every single day. Third, confirm the timing of every single dose. We discussed earlier that taking certain pills too close to dairy or high-fiber foods negates their effect. Ask about the required window. Is it 30 minutes before food? 2 hours after? If you must take a statin, for example, remember the night schedule is often best, but you must know the rules for your specific brand. If your doctor prescribes a new medication, your first question must always be, what specific foods, drinks, or supplements must I absolutely avoid while taking this? Do not be afraid to be insistent. This is your life. This is the difference between a relaxing evening and an emergency room nightmare. The most dangerous thing you can do now is assume you remember the rules. Write them down. Stick the list on your refrigerator door. We have explored the catastrophic risks of grapefruit, certain vitamins, and common snacks. We've given you the tools to talk to your doctor and pharmacist today. But this conversation about safe consumption is not finished. In the next part, we are going to dive deep into another critical, often overlooked aspect of your daily routine that undermines your heart medication: your hydration levels and specific common beverages like tea and coffee. Dehydration can dramatically change how effective your blood pressure pills are, and some common teas can mimic the effects of the very drugs you're trying to take. We will share the safe liquid schedule every senior needs to follow starting tomorrow morning. Do not miss this next vital warning about your morning cup of coffee.